Hi there, PaintShop Pro users. Welcome to my site and welcome to this video tutorial. This one is going to cover the conversion of an image from whatever it is into a daguerreotype images. You know, the ones that are like over 100 years old, some of the very first images ever taken. And they had all kinds of neat and unique looks about them. And so we're going to add some of those unique and neat looks to this. This is based on a tutorial Terry wrote for my site. And it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one indeed. Now, I think if you want, you can go on into PaintShop Pro and there'll be a recipe, I think maybe in the adjust menu, where you can just say, PaintShop Pro, turn this into a daguerreotype. And it'll do it. Now, what the heck fun is there in that? None. You don't learn anything, and you don't have any fun doing it. And there's no pride in making it your own. So this is going to be better, and it's going to be more fun. And it's going to be your own because you can change everything. Okay, so let's get started with it. The first thing we want to do is turn this into a black and white. No, actually, the first thing we want to do is we want to straighten this out. So we're going to cover all kinds of different cool techniques. You can see it's a bit off center. Well, not off center, but it's off kilter. It's like I was falling over when I took these pictures. I'm going to the straighten tool, clicking here, and you can see it gets this little line. That little line typically means, okay, that's what I want to be horizontal. So I'm going to just put it on this. I just found these little horizontal, that should be lines that are on the front of this engine that should be horizontal. And I just covered it there. Okay, and now I just hit the apply button and it takes it and straightens it out. And that is really cool. Okay, so now we can start. We can go to adjust. This is the black and white conversion part. Hue, saturation, lightness. And we get this. I'm doing it right on the image, not using a layer. I could use a layer, but I'm going to stick with this. Now, the way Terry does it is to take the saturation, turn it to -100. Typical what you're going to do with the hue and saturation lightness layer or application to make something black and white. However, for whatever reason, maybe it was the image he was working with, he also went into the yellows and made it -31. I don't know why. But I'm doing it. Terry said to do it. Man, I'm doing it. Okay, there we have a nice black and white now. You can see it's kind of flat, not terribly contrasty. The blacks aren't really black. The whites are, well, you know, they're kind of there. So we have to do something to maybe tune this up a little bit, and that is to add the look of a daguerreotype print. So now what we want to do, because they took so long to capture, 10, 15 minutes maybe, we have to blur the background a bit because in normal life it's very unusual. You can set a camera up and set it to take a 10-minute shot and not have anything move in this field you're looking at. So that would happen. That's kind of a cool thing that Terry did there. So I'm going to take the selection tool and I'm going to go around the engine here and just all the way around it. And this is going to be part of our, oh, it's moving thing. Okay, so we have to play pretend here. And pretend is a good thing. Whoops, I think I did that wrong. It's still on add, so I'm going to come around here. Just going to make that just a little bit better. There we go. And now I want to take a bit off. So there's a couple more things I want to remove. So I want to remove it right here. I want the cowcatchery thing, but not the boards. There, see? Okay, cool. So now I'm going to take selections, invert. Now everything, the white, the background, that's the roundhouse, that's all inverted, and it's all selected now. So now I'm going to go to adjust, blur, and I got all these blurs, but we're going to use motion blur because we're pretending, as I said earlier, that things are walking across the field in the background. And we'll pretend that the buildings are moving. I don't know why they would be moving, but they are. Okay, so I've got this set at a rating of 117 angle and a strength of 100. And there you can see it's changed everything. Okay, now I'm going to do selections, select none. Okay, that's our second step. Now just for interest's sake, this is one I was working on earlier to practice with. You can see the trees. I've done that same treatment on the trees, and the trees are blowing in a rainy wind that day. And when I did the selection and did the blur, then it makes them look like they were moving around in the wind. So that's the kind of effect you're trying to get. Okay, but we'll go back to our train. There we go. Now we're back to our train. So now what is the last thing we want to do? We want to add in that metallic looking features that you would get on a daguerreotype. And that is, I guess because they did it on metal, and the metal actually showed up in the end print. So let's see, here is my metal. I went to Google Images and I said painted, or I didn't say painted, I said metallic texture. And this is what I got. And there's all kinds of them there, but I chose this one. So I'm going to go Selections, Select All, Edit, Copy. And now I'm going to go to back to my original, my train. If this thing ever stops and does its thing, I'm going to Edit, Paste as New Layer. There we go. And I can use the pick tool to move things. And let's see, we'll make it a bit bigger just by dragging it down a bit here. There we go. Whoa. Well, actually, there we go. Let's zoom out and make sure I got it completely covered, because it's it looks like it was okay. Yep, got to get more done up there. So we got to get the top, and then this texture that I've got in here will show through once I've made some changes. Okay, there we go. So now here's my layer, and with the texture, and here's the train. I'm going to change this background, or my blend mode of the texture, to multiply. Now isn't that neat, huh? That gives you some of that that texture from the metal there. And if it's too much, well, we can lower the opacity a bit. So down around, let's try it at 4850. It's just getting subtly a bit there. I like things a little bit more than subtle. So there we go. We'll leave it there. Okay? And that is the preparation. So that's the image done. Now we have to do a few things to it. First thing we're going to do is flatten this layer. And I'm going to go merge all flatten. And there we go. Okay, the next step. Let's move on to the next step. And I'm going to see if I can get my dog to stop chattering in the background here. Okay, so now I want to add in a layer mask. It's and I've got a painted mask here. On the website, Terry talks about different ways of making masks. One is you can go and find one online. I've done that. One is you can paint one if you feel so inclined. This one I did paint, and it was painted using Corel Painter Lite, which they gave me for free when I bought this Corel Painter Pro X6. The dumb thing is that about 2 weeks before I got it, I'd actually bought a copy of that program. So, well, there you go. I have two. And I painted this using my Wacom tablet and just fiddled around with brushes till I got something I liked. Unfortunately, it's not very easy in PaintShop Pro to make some cool stuff like that. You can, if you've got a copy of it, do a better job with Photoshop. Well, did I say that out loud? Yeah, I guess I did. Okay, so here's my my mask, and what I want to do is, or it's my, yeah, it's sort of going to be the mask. I'm going to make a new mask layer from the image. And just one more thing. If I want, I can go on here and I can adjust things. So that is just, I think, brightness and contrast levels, and I can make the black's a bit blacker and the white's a bit lighter. So I can fool around with this till I get it the way I want it after I've painted it and loaded it up. Looks like it has some texture going on in there. And so there we go. Let's go with that, okay? Now what we're going to do is go to Layers, New Mask Layer, from Image, and Source Luminance, Painted Mask 2, OK. There's my Painted Mask 2, and it has been Layers, Load Save Mask, Save Mask to Disk. So I want to save that. Now I'm calling this what do I call this? We'll call it train mask, okay? Where's my backspace? There it is. Train mask. Okay. Whoops. I can't spell. And I think I did the caps lock, didn't I? Yeah. I hate these international keyboards. They are so stupid. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Anyways, that's my problem, not your problem. If I could even find the caps lock. There it is right there. Ha! The whole tutorial falls apart on a keyboard. There. Okay. Here, save it. So now it is part of the masks that are saved in PaintShop Pro. Now let's go back to the train, and this is what we've got. Now what we want to do is we want to add another raster layer on the top here. So new, let's go to the right button, new raster layer, and we're just going to use that. Okay, so it's sitting up there. Now I'm going to add a color in. Now it seems that the colors at that time that got put onto the Daguerreotype prints were kind of these orangey, coppery color things. So I can probably find one there. We'll use that one. I think Terry's got some exact numbers, which I didn't copy down. So Terry, I'm changing things. I'm sorry. And okay, so that's my foreground color now. Now I'm going to take the flood fill tool. Now make sure this layer is selected. Come on over here, and I'm going to do that. Now, okay, so I've messed up the picture totally. I've got this funny sepia type tone thing there, right? Okay, what we're going to do is now load, save mask, load mask from disk, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go find my train mask. It's in here somewhere. There it is, right there. Okay, and I'm going to say load. Now I can fiddle around with different things, so you can see it's given it that slight sepia look, and the picture is just kind of weird now, but it's supposed to be a daguerreotype, and if you want to make it even less subtle, or more subtle, less subtle, right, you can change the opacity. You can see it's taking away a lot of that orange color, and you know, it's a big change from the original, isn't it? It's a daguerreotype kind of thing. Now, I'm not an expert on those things, but you know, hey, Terry does the explanations. He does the research, and he knows what it should look like. And according to this, is the way it should look. And it does have a lot of the features. It has that kind of scarry look to it, and it has some colors like you would expect maybe from some coppery stuff in metals. Anyways, give this a try and see how you like it. It's fun to do. There's a lot of things you can learn from it. And if you have any questions or any comments, certainly make them. If you have questions about the technique, certainly send me a note about it through YouTube or through my site, and I will answer you. I answer every question I get to the best of my ability, and that's the way. We pass on the knowledge we have. Terry did a great tutorial, and I'm doing the video for it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Visit the site if you came in through YouTube, and there's a link here somewhere. I haven't put it on yet, but it'll be there. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate your time, and I hope you found this useful. Thanks. Bye now. Talk to you later.